My fellow countrymen and women, fellow AG of Seas, I want to thank you for your continuous support, and I want to declare here today that you have prevailed. The Ambazonian Governing Council is the sole authoritative, unchallenged movement in the stewardship for the liberation of our country. We have not prevailed because we have attempted to destroy others. We have not prevailed because we have stepped on the dead bodies of our fallen heroes. We have not prevailed because we have tried to destroy others. We have prevailed because we've adopted challenging policies, taking daredevil actions to defend our country, our right to be free, our territorial integrity. We have prevailed because we've been honest. We've provided an honest leadership with character. Members of my executive have been disciplined. They work extremely very hard to provide the kind of advice that is necessary for any leader operating under difficult circumstances. We've prevailed because of the thousands of AG of Seas and millions of Ambazonians who've put their bodies between my leadership and all those who've attempted in the past 7 years to destroy it. If there is any lesson we have learned in the past 7 years, all those who've built platforms not to focus on Yaoundé, but to destroy the Ambazonian Governing Council have crumbled. All those who build reputation based on character assassination, based on the attack on the integrity of others, based on the attack on our people, have been silenced. They've not been silenced because we've shouted more, because we've remained focused, we've remained poised. We know who our enemy is. It's Cameroon. We've built a force on the ground with a command and control that is disciplined. And in the past months, we have been working very hard to negotiate with other forces on the ground to make sure we work together. We will no longer continue to attempt to negotiate with ghost activists, social media tormentors who have attacked our struggle. They are individuals and groups that we are constantly having discussions with. And we will focus to make sure that we have discussions, find areas of compromise, work where we can work together, and go alone when it is impossible. But the Ambazonian Governing Council will continue to function as an independent, unchallenged movement in our struggle for independence. As I have said, we will win together, we will govern together, but in our struggle for independence, we will take no lesson from any individual, people who cannot define a policy on how to stop an election of the enemy. People who have called for the closure of schools have not been able to develop policies for alternative forms of education for our people. People who have attacked our policies on attacking foreign companies that are even removing trash in our country. And we showed them that we could dismantle these companies and allow local companies provide employment for our people. People who have attacked our forces have not shown any way that they are able to sustain any force with command and control. They've abandoned these children on the ground on their own, and they've been using extrajudicial method to be able to survive, to be able to defend their villages. And when we've defined sensible policies that can regulate the activities of these young men who have been fighting, so that they can mobilize resources like every people across the globe to defend themselves, their lives, and their families, they have come out and attacked it. When the enemy has imposed heavy taxes on mobile phone operators, they've been silent. When the enemy has imposed taxes on our bike riders, they've been silent. When the enemy has put checkpoints across our territory to extort our population, They've never uttered a word. But we have silenced them. We have defeated them. They are now relegated to hiding behind cell phones and become disjointed opposition. And I want to thank Ambazonians and call upon you to continuously support this leadership. We have not blinked. We have put in place tough policies because that's the only way. For 60 years, we applied cosmetic measures on an occupation that was brutal and violent. All other peoples who have succeeded in the past have taken the hard way. They have sacrificed to make sure they can usher in a new nation to a new generation. And there will be no compromise as far as I live. And I ask our people to persevere a little bit longer, to support their children, to ensure they can stay alive, they can defend our neighborhood, and to forgive them when they commit infractions. You can imagine children who have been fighting for 5 years without a salary, without a pay, without holidays, without comfort. It is difficult, and it is unheard of that those who pretend to stand for them, their first reaction when it comes to policies that can defend our people is to take political stance that challenge our liberation struggle. You don't hear them when La République organize elections in our land. You don't hear them when they organize fake 20 Mays in our land. You don't hear them when they organize fake 11 February in our land. You don't hear them when our men are shot and killed, when villages are burned. It becomes the responsibility of the villagers, of the soldiers, of the leadership of the Ambazonian Governing Council. Going forward, we will take no more lesson from anybody. Past 7 years has shown that we have prevailed over these chaos manufacturers. They've been relegated into tiny groups where they are now confused. When we call for conferences, they want to call for disjointed conferences so we can come and talk to them to come and join us. You offer nothing other than chaos. You have nothing to offer. You are not fighting for freedom. You are fighting for power. You are afraid that the Ambazonian Governing Council is going to liberate our country. We have already done so. Our job now is to make sure we mobilize the resources to defend the rest of our land. God bless you all. God bless Ambazonia.
Hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonia, special loyalty, praises to our Savior who granted us the freedom, and legends to the hero who brought the land we gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.